In a quiet, peaceful village nestled among green fields and gentle streams, lived a young man named Adicha. He was simple, kind, and hardworking, a young man with a pure heart, but he carried one belief with him everywhere. If I earn a lot of money, I'll finally be the happiest man alive. Every morning, we'd walk past the village square and watch the wealthy merchants as they passed through. Golden robes shimmered in the sunlight. Jewelry sparkled on their fingers and necks. Horses snorted proudly as they trotted past. Adicha would whisper to himself, "They have everything. Everything I could ever want. If I had their wealth, I would never feel sadness again." This thought grew stronger in his heart every day. He started believing that happiness was a treasure hidden in gold and jewels, not in the world around him. So one morning, with a small bag of belongings, Adicha left his humble farm. He waved goodbye to his village, his neighbors, and the simple life he had known. His journey to wealth had begun. Years went by. Adicha worked tirelessly in crowded cities. He traded goods, took risks, stayed awake through countless nights, and learned the hard ways of business. Every coin he earned felt like a step closer to his dream. Gold, silver, jewels, everything he ever imagined, he finally had. He built a palace larger than the village temple, had hundreds of servants, lavish feasts, and clothes made of the finest fabrics. But no matter how much he earned, no matter how grand his palace became, something was missing. One night, Adicha sat alone at a long dining table, overflowing with the finest delicacies. Servants stood around silently, awaiting his command. But there was no one to share the meal with. He raised a fork, tasted the food, and in that quiet moment thought to himself, "I have money. I have power. But why do I feel so lonely? Why does my laughter feel empty? Why can't I buy the peace my heart so desperately wants?" The walls of his palace echoed with silence. The grandeur around him felt hollow. Days later, while traveling back to his village, something unusual caught his attention. A faint, desperate cry came from the roadside. Curious and concerned, Adicha stopped his carriage. There, he saw a poor boy holding his sick little sister, trembling and crying. "Please help us. I have no money for medicine," the boy pleaded, tears streaming down his cheeks. Without hesitation, Adicha lifted the girl in his arms and rushed her to the nearest doctor. He paid for every treatment, stayed by their side, and comforted the boy through the nights. Finally, after days of care, the little girl opened her eyes. She smiled weakly. Her brother hugged Adicha tightly, whispering, "Sir, you saved us. You gave us happiness no gold can ever buy." In that instant, something shifted deep inside Adicha's heart. For the first time, he felt a joy so real, so pure, so alive, that all the wealth he had collected suddenly felt meaningless. That night, as he returned to his golden palace, he walked through his halls lined with treasures. He looked at the mountains of gold, the sparkling jewels, and the luxurious decorations, and finally understood something he had never realized before. Money can buy comfort, but not love. Money can buy food, but not appetite. Money can buy medicine, but not health. True happiness lives in kindness, in helping others, and in the love you give. From that day onward, Adicha's life changed completely. He used his wealth not to fill his own emptiness, but to fill the lives of others. He built schools, fed the hungry, supported the sick, rebuilt villages. The once silent palace now rang with laughter, music, and the joy of children. Adicha had discovered the greatest treasure of all, not the gold he collected, but the happiness he created in the hearts of others. And in quiet moments, when he watched children play or families smile, he whispered to himself, This is what I was looking for all along." Friends, this story reminds us of something simple, yet powerful. Money can buy many things, but it can never buy true happiness. True joy is found in love, kindness, and the smiles we create in the lives of others. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who needs inspiration, and subscribe to Teddysatisfy. Your support allows us to bring more stories that uplift, motivate, and inspire every single day. Music fades, soft emotional outro.